Good morning, guys. How are you all? Let me unmute you all so you can tell me how you all are doing. How are you all doing today? You're doing good, you guess. All right, well. All right, so quick question. I've not seen Ngozi up yet. Is she up there yet? Ngozi, are you on with us? No, no Ngozi. How about Jed? No Jed? Or how about Gustavo or Ashley? Gustavo, Ashley? Oh, there's Jed. All right, there's Ngozi. All right, awesome. All right, so just keep in mind that for participation points each day, you have to obviously show up and attend. Secondly, have your audio and video working. And thirdly, I need to be able to see your face. If you don't have your face up, then you don't earn that point. So you want to be sure that you have your face in the screen. And then part of the rules with involvement points was the fact that you get points when you answer questions, obviously. You keep your screen. If you choose a new background, you have to keep that background the entire class time. And then lastly, of course, you don't unmute yourself. I will unmute you when I'm calling on you to answer a question. So those are our goals. Keep your face on there as best you can. Keep your audio working so you can hear. And then hopefully we will do a better job on all of that today. So I know. So I hope that you guys realize today that I have a spider. I hope you love that. All right, so the chat is to me only, just so you guys know today. I turned off your chat to amongst yourselves, so it's just to me only. And I'm glad that some of you actually noticed my spider. The last class, nobody seemed to notice. April Fools. It's not real. So it's a little hard to April Fools prank you all from a distance. So that's what I got for today. That's my April Fools for you. If I had a really big ant, I would have done that for Abby because I feel like she would have loved that more. But instead, all I have was a spider. So April Fools, who's a cute dog.
Wait, does this mean this is April Fool's Day?
I know. I almost thought of posting on ThinkWave, no class, April Fools, but then I thought nobody'd show up, so I didn't. Because, you know, in case you didn't understand what April Fools meant, there still was class. So, sadly. Oh, Ashley, good to have you with us. All right, Gustavo. Is Gustavo popped on again? I've not noticed him. All right, so let me see really quick if I see Gustavo at all. All right, good. All right, everybody, so listen, I'm going to mute us today. It's good to have you with us today. We're going to open up our grammar books, page 212 today. Grammar, page 212, please. Good, grammar, page 212. I hope you all are there and joining me on that. All right, so today we're going to look at our adverbs and adjectives again. This time we're going to see if you can decide what an adverb clause is. So let's look at our clauses about that really quick. Adverb clause, we've talked about these all week. An adverb clause, we have let me go back one screen. So we have our independent clause. It completes the thought. It has a subject and a verb, and it completes the thought, right? So that's the big thing to remember. A dependent clause, however, is not a complete thought. It needs the other clause, the independent clause, to finish it. Now, you can have one sentence with just the independent clause, and it's complete. It has its subject, it has its verb. Oh, Gustavo, you're on with us. Good to have you. Glad to give you your points for today. Good job, man. I like your background. I want to go there. It's beautiful. All right, anyway, so an independent clause can stand all by itself. It can be the sentence complete, and it would be done. But if we have a dependent clause, it's not a complete thought. It needs the independent clause to complete itself. If our dependent clause starts a sentence, there'll often be a comma, and then the rest of the independent clause. If the dependent clause is at the end of the sentence, there'll often be a comma, and then a dependent clause. We saw yesterday one of our sentences, Caleb Love actually did that sentence, and the dependent clause was right in the middle of the whole sentence, and it was set off by commas. So again, the dependent clause is not complete thought. It's complete in the fact that it has a subject and a verb, but it's not a complete thought. It needs the rest of the sentence to make it complete. Okay? All right. So that's the concept that we're looking at today. So that being said, we're going to look at exercise B and D today. So page 212. I hope you all join me on page 212 in your grammar book. Page 212. And we're going to do B and D. Now, exercise B, we've done 1 through 5 already. So today we're doing 6 through 10. 6 through 10. And then I want you to skip down to letter D. You're going to combine these two sentences and make them one sentence, which means you might need to use a subordinated conjunction. If you go back to page 211, rule number 5, you're going to see your subordinated conjunctions right there. You use one of those words to combine these two thoughts. So exercise D, you'll need a subordinated conjunction. So be creative. Choose one that matches and completes the thought, and then finish it. All right, so at this point, we're going to do some seat work. I'm going to put my sign up for you all, some seat work at this moment. So seat work for YouTube Live, just a few minutes. We'll give about 5 minutes to complete those thoughts, and then we're going to come back. About 5 minutes. and then we'll come back to see how it's going. Okay, Jed, you need to join us on your screen, please. We're still doing our work. A still picture doesn't take the place of your person. Thank you. Kathleen, you need to join us in your monitor as well. There we go. Thank you. Even if I just be a corner, you just know when you're involved, not just kick it on and left. Caleb Zamora is today. You've not joined us yet in video, so you'll have to lose a point if you don't decide to get on the screen. So you're familiar with that. All right, one more minute. We're gonna check our answers. Ah, Caleb, good to see you. I just removed your point, so thanks for letting me put that back on for you. Good job. All right, put a thumbs up on your screen if you're finished with your C work. All right, combining letter exercise D, those two sentences together. The top ones for following the directions and marking our sentence correctly. 6 through, what is this? Through 10. 6 through 10. There's 5 up there to do and 4 at the bottom. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds. You start going over your answers. All right, guys. So I'm going to unmute you one at a time when I call on you. I would like you to give us what you decide to do. So in exercise B, we're supposed to be circling the subordinated conjunctions. So again, those are on page 211 and number 5. Those are a list of our subordinated conjunctions. Then we're supposed to put parentheses around the adverb clause. That means it has a subject and a verb. And draw an arrow to the word that clause is modifying. That means it should be modifying a verb, an adverb, or an adjective. Those are how our adverbs work. So when I unmute you, I'd like for you to tell us what you circled, what you put parentheses around, and what you drew an arrow to. Those are the 3 steps for this exercise. So let's go ahead and begin with, let's go with Joanna today. Actually, I think I called on Joanna yesterday. How about Kathleen? Kathleen, would you mind unmuting yourself, please? All right, and tell us for number 6. For number 6, what did you do? Good. You put parentheses around, so that she could go to college. Good. And what is it modifying? Well, that would make it an adjective clause if it was modifying Cassandra. Good. Was working. If we're looking for adverb clauses, the answer to the question was working where or why, to what extent, so that she could go to college. All right, that was the answer for that one. All right, number 7. Thank you, Kathleen. Number 7. Let's go ahead and have Ngozi. Ngozi, number 7 for us, please. Tell us what you circled, parentheses, and then what you decided it modifies.
I circled although, but these around although and after.
Right, good.
And it's describing what.
Right, was willing is that whole verb phrase. Good job, perfect. All right, so I hope you guys did the same thing, those of you who are following along. All right, Arthur, would you do the next one for us, please? Arthur, number 8.
I put parentheses around wherever hope went. I circled, I circled whatever. And I underlined clouds once, schools twice. And I underlined,
Now just tell us, you put parentheses around wherever hope went. What does that modify? What did you draw an arrow to? What is it describing?
Oh, wait.
Number 8.
I was reading 9, my bad. Yeah. Modified she.
Well, that would make it an adjective that modified she. But we're actually looking for adverb clauses because it's going to answer the question, where. She kept where? Wherever hope went is where she kept a smile on her face. All right, so it's modifying kept. That's what makes adverb clauses a little bit, adverbs in general, a little harder to find, because finding the right question to ask sometimes is a little tricky for them. All right, number 9. Number 9, Caleb with a K. Number 9, what did you circle, put parentheses, and then what did you put an arrow to?
I circled whenever.
Good.
And then I underlined cloud and blue.
All right, that's our subject and verb. What did you put parentheses around? What's the whole clause?
Whenever the cloud moves.
Good. And what is it describing?
The Israelite nation.
Well, that would make it an adjective clause if it was describing Israelite nation. But in this case, no. Whenever the crowd moved, it's actually going over to move. To what extent did it move? Whenever the crowd moved. So it's actually describing the verb moved at the end. All right, Arthur, I need you to just keep on your personal self, not your background. Thank you. And then lastly, number 10. Number 10, let's go. Oops, wrong person. Let's see, who else do we have up here? We haven't called on too much yet. Evan. Evan. Number 10.
I circled because. Then I put brackets around because all like so, right?
Good. And what is it modifying?
Provoked.
Good, it's modifying provoked. Good job. All right, Evan, are you still watching this from your TV?
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
I could try to move to a laptop, but last time I did that, it crashed.
Oh, okay. Well, this works for you then. We'll keep what works for you. All right, thank you.
I could try next time, though.
Okay. All right, and then let's go down to exercise D. Exercise D, and let's have Megan read number 1 for us. How did you combine these two?
Isn't one done plus already?
Oh, number 1 is. I'm sorry, number 2.
As the girls arrived in Rome, they rented a car.
Okay, good. We could say as. We could also use when the girls arrived there, they did this. All right, good job. But that's exactly the order in which it would go. So not too hard. Good job. Gustavo, number 3 for us. How did you combine these two?
Our car ran out of gas. Oh, okay. Well, that's, our car ran out of gas. Then we were late to the game.
Well, it would lead to that. That's true. It would lead to that. Or you could keep it in that order it is now and say we were late to the game because our car ran out of gas. That might make a little more sense to explain why we were late to the game. All right, but yours would work. All right, number 4. Number 4, let's end with Mark. Mark, number 4, tell us what you did.
Since the shirt is too small, we will walk with them.
All right, perfect. Since the shirt is too small or because the shirt is too small, good. All right, so that's not too difficult. All right, guys, that's all we're going to do in our grammar today, just a little bit more review of those adverbs. And at the moment, we're going to move over to our literature, page 289. Yesterday, we read a couple pages. And yesterday, I had a hard time giving you a chance to hear this, but I've discovered my problem. So we're going to take a moment and watch this short video on Thomas Edison, the gentleman whom you're reading this story about. And we're going to learn a little bit more about why he invented a lot of things, but one of the things that led him to invent the light bulb. So, this works correctly. Hopefully you all will enjoy hearing this after the commercial break.
The father of the light bulb, phonograph, and motion picture, Edison was granted an astounding 400 patents in a prolific 8-year period from 1879 to 1886. But after the age of 40, things began to go sour for the Wizard of Menlo Park.
Thomas Edison comes to Menlo Park in 1876 at the age of 29. At this point, he is really soaring as an inventor, creative, innovative. Everything he touches is incredible. You might say from about the age of 25 to about 40, he has this, what you might call Midas touch. It's not gold, it's platinum. And yet, there's a demarcation line. Right after that, all of a sudden, things that he touches aren't quite as successful. It seems to get worse as time gets on. It kind of turns toward Plato, you might say, in the later years.
One of Edison's more bizarre failures involved manipulating electricity's powers to create a device for communicating with the dead. After the carnage of World War I, Edison felt families might be interested in contacting lost loved ones. Among his theories was the belief in an invisible source of electrical energy that could actually link survivors with people who had died. To date, no one has answered any of Edison's calls. Another Edison invention that failed was the talking doll, an idea that turned out to be way ahead of the day's technology.
That's creepy.
Edison invented the phonograph in 1877. In 1889, he decided to make a talking doll. He imported the heads from Germany because they had the best bisque heads. On the doll, he had a little phonograph motor, which was hand-driven, and a little wax record that would be placed around. A total of about 7 or 8 different songs that you could buy would be placed inside the chest of this doll and be closed. And the children would crank the doll, but it was very difficult at the time to work this phonograph. First of all, you had to keep it at a constant speed, and you had to take the whole motor apart just to put a new record in.
But the doll had 2 fatal flaws. The phonograph was too delicate for child's play, and the wax recordings wore out after only a few plays, leaving the metal stylus to grate against the steel cylinder. The result gave the doll a horrible screech that sent its tiny owners running. Edison folded the company in 1891. Another Edison idea that never got off, or in this case on the ground, was his design for a mass-producible house made entirely of concrete. The idea.
How about I pause this a moment and stop sharing and reshare it and see what may happen with that. Let me see if I can find a way to fix that for some of you. After my screen sharing.
It was not unrelated to the fact that Edison owned the Portland Cement Company, a major American supplier of concrete.
Cement, very, very profitable. Thomas Edison. Yankee Stadium was made of Edison cement. The Panama Canal was made of Edison cement. So Edison was doing very well with cement, very profitable, wonderful industry, and he started coming up with ideas what to do with cement.
Edison stood to make a fortune if he could get Americans to fall in love with the idea of a concrete home.
All right, so I'm going to actually go back a little bit. I'm going to go back a little bit to give you all a chance to watch more of that since I messed up the viewing part. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. All right, let's see if you can enjoy this now with actually seeing it and hearing it.
A visible source of electrical energy that could actually link survivors with people who had died. To date, no one has answered any of Edison's calls.
From the dead.
Another Edison
What a concept.
talking dog, an idea that turned out to be way ahead of today's technology.
Edison invented the phonograph in 1877. In 1889, he decided to make a talking doll. He imported the heads from Germany because they had the best disc heads. On the doll, he had a little phonograph motor, hand-driven, and a little wax record that would be placed around. There was a total of about 7 or 8 different songs that you could buy. It would be placed inside the chest of this doll and be closed. And the children would crank the doll, but it was very difficult at the time to work this phonograph. First of all, you had to keep it at a constant speed, and you had to take the whole motor apart just to put a new record in.
But the doll had 2 fatal flaws. The phonograph was too delicate for child's play, and the wax recordings wore out after only a few plays, leaving the metal stylus to grate against the steel cylinder. The result gave the doll a horrible screech that sent its tiny owners running. Edison folded the company in 1891. Another Edison idea that never got off, or in this case on the ground, was his design for a mass-producible house made entirely of concrete. The idea was not unrelated to the fact that Edison owned the Portland Cement Company, a major American supplier of concrete.
Cement, very, very profitable. Thomas Edison. Yankee Stadium was made of Edison cement. The Panama Canal was made of Edison cement. So Edison was doing very well with cement, very profitable, wonderful industry, and he started coming up with ideas what to do with cement.
Edison stood to make a fortune if he could get Americans to fall in love with the idea of a concrete home. And to that end, he commissioned expensive and heavy cast iron molds of every part of a 2-story, 1,500 square foot house. All that would be needed to finish was plumbing and wiring. Edison even created an ill-fated line of concrete furniture for his homes, including couches and chairs.
As soon as the press heard about it, they had cartoons with a 2-horse team connected to your couch every time you wanted to dance. And Edison actually liked the cartoon. He put it up in his office.
In a day when the average house sold for a few $1,000, the concrete house carried a heavy price tag of over $100,000. Mass production would be the only way to keep the homes affordable. Edison's Cement Works produced only 11 homes before going bankrupt.
All right, so that's our little bit of information about Thomas Edison. So you were supposed to read page 287 to page 288 yesterday. Today we're going to continue reading with page 289 to page, let me find your class really quick. Page 292. Page 292 is your goal today. All right, so let me ask you a quick question. We could try to read some together in class if you would like. If you're interested in that, put a thumbs up on your screen. If not, I will just close class now. You can read on your own. Would you like to do some group reading together? All right, a few of us would like that. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and we'll read a little bit then. We'll just read a small amount, and then I'll just unmute you and take our turns going around just reading a little bit. All right, so page 289, we're going to start at the top with, as Edison sat down at the desk, they gathered around, grinning at one another. The New York operator started out at a normal pace, and they gradually increased it, abbreviating long words which the receiver had to transcribe in longhand. Without faltering, the applicant covered page after page with his precise script. There were no mistakes. Each sheet looked as though it had come off the press. The grind continued for 4 incredible hours. Let's continue with Arthur, if you wouldn't mind reading the next 2 paragraphs. Nonchalantly.
The Washington Tables after examining Edison's faultless copy. The Western Union speaker was president.
Good.
He is as good an operator as I ever met.
All right, good job. Thank you. Jed, let's not do that, please. All right, Nick Prezan, next paragraph.
Okay.
Page 289. And your paragraph begins, it was in a Boston bookstore.
Starts where?
It was in a Boston bookstore. The first column about 4th paragraph down. Page 289. It was in a Boston bookstore on the left-hand side, about the middle of the page. All right, well, while you catch up and try to find that with us, I'm gonna mute you and let's see who hasn't done something today. Musa, speed reader, your turn.
It was in a Boston bookstore that Edison found his first complete set of the works of the British scientist Michael Faraday. He had already begun his lifetime schedule, which allowed him only 4 hours sleep out with 24, but that night he didn't close his eyes at all. At breakfast, he was still ready, Faraday.
Okay, would you like to read a little bit more?
Okay. Aren't you going to eat? His roommate asked. Edison looked up briefly. Not now, he said. I've got too much to do. Life is pretty short.
Good job. Avel, next paragraph, working.
Working nights as a French wire operator, he spent the rest of his hours in the Boston machine shop, carrying out experiments which were already being built countless notebooks. The staggering change of scenery might bring him a change of luck. He left Boston in New York.
Oh, good. Caleb with a C. He borrowed the money.
Borrowed the money for passage on the night boat from Boston and arrived in the rich city that is heaven. And at Boston Telegraph, he found the lodging in the boiler room of the old exchange. His coat was next to the master transmitter was sent out, being golden prices to exchange and 300 brokerage houses. Edison spent few evenings studying the complicated mechanisms and dreaming up improvements.
Good. Good. All right, let's go to Brianna. All right, Brandon, we need to see a little bit of you on your screen. Got nothing but ceiling, my dear. Thanks for the top of your head. There you go. Chaos.
From the floor of the change, the master transmitter of
Commodities. Good. Good. Ashley Carr, next couple paragraphs, please.
Edison comes back down to the basement and took one look at the transmitter. Contact spring broken, he pointed out calmly to the manager. It's falling between the keys. The manager regarded the cool gray blue eyes, the crumpled suit that had been something night after night, the shyly unbarbered hair that fell from the brim of the battered belt. Can you fix it? Edison, do I keep reading?
Let's go ahead and go on to Nick. Nick Linnick, your turn. Nick L. Edison pushed back the hatch. Oh, I don't think your audio is working, Nick. We'll have to work on that. Maybe next time, okay? All right, next time we'll let you work on that for us next time. Let's go ahead and go to, let's see if left in here. It hasn't done something today. How about Philip?
Edison pushed back his head and went to work. Within 2 hours, the transmitter was clicking smoothly. Edison was hired on the spot as mechanical superintendent for an incredible salary of $300 a month.
All right, but as usual, he was far from content with the payroll job, no matter what the figure. Soon he and 2 friends rented shop quarters in Jersey City and set themselves up as electrical engineers, specializing in stock tickers and private telegraph facilities. The concern had been in business for less than 6 months when General Marshall Lefferts of the Golden Stock Telegraph Company offered to buy them out for $15,000. They accepted. Within months, the young inventor had designed the Edison Universal Printer, the basic features of which are still in use today. It was much simpler and far more reliable than the automatic printers then in use among brokerage houses, and General Lefferts was highly enthusiastic. All right, so that being done, I need you guys to finish reading page 290 to page 292, so we can talk a little bit about Edison tomorrow, which you've been reading about Incandescent Genius, and then we'll hopefully finish reading that story probably tomorrow. So today, read up to page 292. That's your only homework for today. Well, let me clarify that. That is your homework for today, but you also need to be sure that you're finishing your edited draft. Is your edited draft? Yep, your edited draft of your research paper. So whatever topic you had chosen, storms or the body or whatever it was you were working on, be sure that you're finishing that. You should have already written the paper. We're editing it, which means you're typing it into the computer and you're making corrections on grammar, punctuation, things like that. So hopefully the paper's really done. You're just typing it in now and cleaning it up. So that's due Friday. So you do want to spend a little bit of time each day typing that paper in and then cleaning it up. And then Thursday night, you need to upload it to me. Because if it's due Friday, that means Thursday night you need to have sent it to me. If you are still lacking your books and your stuff, you were supposed to have been here to the school by Saturday. Saturday we had it open for you to pick up your books and your papers. So if you haven't done that yet, you might want to swing by the school. Stop by the school. We're open from 9 to 3 each day. Stop by, pick up your things. You have to stay outside the building, though. So when you buzz the door, the ladies at the front desk will ask you how they can help you, and they'll bring the things to you at the door, okay? So you can pick up your books if you still haven't done that. Your lockers have been cleaned out, and they're sitting upstairs near the door ready to be handed to you as soon as you come and pick it up. So again, you need to finish your, type out your research paper and then upload that to me Thursday night. That's the homework. Today you need to finish reading up to page 292. If you've left your research paper here in your locker, again, you need to come by the school and pick up your items. All right, come by the school, get everything that was in your locker, your sweaters, your books, your papers, your notebooks, all of that stuff. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute if anybody else has any other questions. Anybody have a question you need to ask about that?
No.
No? Okay. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoy your April Fool's Day. I hope you see a big spider actually come to your house and walk down your wall. And guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, bye, everybody.